The first thing I like to do when I'm reading a book of the Bible, especially when I'm starting to read the book of the Bible, does not matter how many times I've read it. I like to read the introduction to the book. I have a study Bible. I have the ESV Journaling Study Bible, probably my favorite Bible because I have study notes. I have a journaling section where I can write notes, but these introductions are short. The ESV Study Bible has a lot more information, but I really like this one because it gives me exactly what I need. And this is the first thing I do when I'm starting a book. I read the introduction because it tells me author and date, theme, purpose, key themes in the book, and then an outline. And it always shows me a map to kind of see all the places that the book of Acts in this occasion is talking about. So I'm going to read that. I highly encourage you, if you have a study Bible, always start with reading the introduction to the book. I always use the midliner highlighters and the micron pens. I just got this one. It's kind of like a brown reddish, but it's 005. It is amazing. The line is so thin. I'm able to do circles and squares around the verses and things that I want to highlight. But those are a couple of things that I use. I always have the description and everything I use, links in the description, everything I use. So let's read the introduction. Acts chapter 1, these are the Acts of the Apostle. And it's an amazing read, chapter 1. I want to just highlight a few things. One, it was written by Luke. Luke, it's a physician. He also wrote the Gospel of Luke. Something very interesting about Luke is that Luke was not one of the 12 disciples. He came on later on. He was a physician. He was a doctor, probably well educated, probably had a lot of wisdom. But very important to know that in the entire Bible, there is only one Gentile. Now, Gentile means somebody who was not a Jew. For example, I'm not a Jew, so I would be a Gentile in this case. Luke is the only Gentile that wrote in the Bible. And that is a very interesting fact to know about the author of this book. Now, the book of Acts and the book of Luke was one book with two volumes. Volume 1, book, the Gospel of Luke, those are the lives and teachings of Jesus. And volume 2, the Acts of the Apostle, what happened after Jesus ascended to heaven. And now the apostles, the disciples, have the power of the Holy Spirit to now they can do what God has called them to do, which was to make disciples of all nations. That was the Great Commission. Jesus told them, now you go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, teaching these new disciples everything I've taught you. That is your command and my command as Christians, as believers. Now here we see why and how we're going to do this. What is the purpose of receiving the Holy Spirit? Because the book of Acts starts with the promise of the Holy Spirit. And it says in verse 5, for John baptized with water, but you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days from now. Now, this is the words of Jesus to letting them know that you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit. Verse 8 in chapter 1, it says this, but you will receive power. Very important, you will receive power. When the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witness in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. We receive the Holy Spirit to be witnesses of Christ. The reason why you and I have a baptism of the Holy Spirit, it's not only for us to speak in a different tongue, to have a prayer language, to have prophecies and words of wisdom. We receive the Holy Spirit to be witnesses of what Christ has done. That is the main purpose, that you and I have the Holy Spirit. So if you have the Holy Spirit, which every believer does now that Jesus died, resurrected, and lives inside of you and inside of me, we have the power of the Holy Spirit to be bold, to preach the gospel. That's why there might be times that you will feel a nudge of the Holy Spirit to speak to someone and talk to someone, and God will give you the right words. That is the power of the Holy Spirit. Yes, we will speak in tongues, have prophecy, words of wisdom, power to heal the sick. All of those things are amazing. But the main reason why you and I are baptized in the Holy Spirit, that we receive the Holy Spirit, is to be witnesses of what Christ has done. And the instructions are clear. In Jerusalem, what does Jerusalem mean in your life? It means where you live. It means the place that you work in. It means the place that God has placed you in, your community. That is your Jerusalem. And then it says all Judea. Now Judea, I live in Oklahoma, so Jerusalem would be Oklahoma City. It will be my neighborhood. Now Judea will be like the entire state of Oklahoma. Samaria, it's the outsides of it. It would be, for me, because I live in North America, it would be all the states around me, the United States. And then it says to the ends of the earth would be South America, Europe, Asia, all these different places. I have and you have the same calling from God to make disciples, but we cannot go to the ends of the earth if we haven't witnessed in our Jerusalem, in our place, in our neighborhood. God placed you in the neighborhood that you live in with a purpose. There is a purpose where you're there. God selected you to be there, for you to be his witness. That's Acts chapter 1, verse 8. I made a few highlights in this book, in this chapter. Very excited to go in this journey with you. Let me know what are your questions in Acts chapter 1. Hope this was a blessing. Hope that this helped you. Do me a huge favor, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how can I help you. And if you can, share this video with someone and ask them to do this reading with you. Tomorrow, we're going to be studying Acts chapter 2, and I'll see you tomorrow.